What's going on, guys? This is Ryan, and today I will bring you another casual game on TieGem with Strive Lurk. Okay, we see used to be pretty popular opening. Hasn't really been played very much ever since computers have pretty much eliminated this Large Knights enclosure. Well, people still play it, but it's kind of rare now. Yeah, I really miss those times where there's still so many opening tactics, but now people just play 2-star point and start invading the 3-3. So since usually in this opening, white has actually the 3-4 corner in the top left. So if I slide in, he will approach a star point, which is a variation where black pincers and takes the thickness with that Joseki, where black ladders a stone, develops influence. I guess today I'm just gonna play the calm. Oops, that is the game next door. Okay, this invasion. So typically, when you deal with when you have a 3-space extension invasion, there's really only 2 options. You can jump out or attach under. And specifically for this case, so for this case, I think I'm just going to attach under. Well, I'm taking a lot of time in the opening. So right now it's bad for black to Hane, because there's a ladder variation where if black has the ladder, black can Hane eventually cut on the outside. Usually though, I think it's pretty common for black to Nuki after the invasion. Okay, guess there's not really much to choose from. Guess I'll stick to the low pincer. I don't really want to play the knight's move or Kosumi because white approached from this side already. In this case, if white jumps, then black will attach. So right now, I think it's pretty necessary to crawl one more time to prevent this attachment from being severe. When there's 2 stones, it's really hard for white to fight in corner. But with 3 stones, this attachment is almost non-existent, although there is a trick move associated with it. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. He has to extend. Okay, and afterwards, black will invade. And I guess white pretty much has to jump. If I defend the corner, that's actually pretty severe if black gets the first move and attacks this left stone. So I'm gonna just play the casual game and not go for anything. I won't go for anything too special. So so I guess I'll just jump and hope for a casual game. Sorry, I keep saying that word, but I mean not really casual in that sense, but casual in a sense that these openings have been played so many times, so the variations are pretty much known anyway. Okay. Now, I guess I will play the low extension because The high one, there's a pincer, which is very annoying. The low enclosure does have a very important weakness, which has to do with this ladder. Right now, white has the ladder, but it's going to be really easy for black to do a ladder break here. So we'll see what he does. If he attaches first, he doesn't have the ladder. So if he gets a go-to ladder breaker, I can still protect the corner. I might be able to get the Hane in if black goes for a ladder breaker on the lower right. And after the Hane, the corner is much stronger. So that's kind of like the rough plan. Okay, so he went for the one space extension. It's a pretty solid move. It's trying to settle, and black can attach to connect back. I'm going to probably just let him connect. Right now, if I prevent that, there's no really good move, and at this point I think I'm going to exchange the Honey and connect. I kind of really want to do that, but then again, after I do that, he's going to connect back, and then these three stones are going to float. So what should I do? Oh well, I'll just do it. It's a really big move after this Joseki. After this, the corner is very solid, so it's a very big territory to get. And if it doesn't connect, I can probably cap here. Well, I guess it's not really useful if he can connect back. Then, I'm not sure. Okay, so he does connect. So technically, I am missing a move here, but I don't want to just jump. So I guess we'll keep just taking the big points and see how he will attack this group. So after the attachment, white could actually still Hane and live on the side. Even though it's not good right now, it's still a potential move in the future when white's trying to get territory. So yeah, he's actually chosen a very aggressive tactic. Typically, when white pincers in a large and nice enclosure, the 3-3 attachment is pretty severe. But he's invading because he's going for the Hane now. I think I can just protect here. Because it's equivalent to I protected, and so he can exchange this pretty much any time, but the invasion is still pretty severe for this shape. So yeah, he still has to protect the corner, so I'll still get the first move. Be careful for black, you should never Kosumi, because after the Kosumi, the attachment still works, which means it's a very inefficient shape. If white could still live in the corner by attaching, then black spent too many moves here to get not that much territory. And right when I said he shouldn't do that, he did. The strongest move for black right now would be to Hane. But actually, the Hane, I have the ladder, so I don't think black... So I can actually extend right now because white has the ladder. Now if I Hane, it will start a Ko. when he Ataris Atari, I can Atari capture the stone, and then he can double Atari and enclose. And now after this variation, you can see that this move is in a very bad place. But since I have the ladder, I can just extend. And now, if he blocks, I can cut, which is very severe, because normally black has to Atari and connect, but then when white cuts now, this ladder doesn't work. So he has to descend, or he has to clamp, something along those lines. I haven't decided yet what I should do if he clamps. I guess I could still live in the corner, but then it would be much smaller. So I can Atari connect. He still has to Atari, and then I can live. But it's a tough decision to make because it's actually pretty crucial for the later game now. So I'm gonna just take a while to see what I can do. Of course I can't turn, because when he blocks, it would be Sente, and then when he Ataris, then everything is dead. So I would have to do something that would come out. So either live in the corner or extend this group out. So I guess, extend. I'm tempted to extend. Yeah, I think the result is pretty good when I extend. Black. Oh, I guess he could connect. Yeah, that's not so good. Huh. I guess it's... I really need to decide on something. Okay. Well, I think... I think I'll just live in the corner. There's really no point in dragging a group out if this group is still weak, so it's not really useful. If black can keep the corner and I'm just dragging a group out, he can the corner is strong, so white black could just tack this way, and these stones are kind of just floating there. So what I'm going to do is actually extend first. This is actually very uncomfortable for black, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, but... So if he nets, and he usually does want to net, then I can actually Hane. So if I cut, it doesn't work because he can descend. But I can Hane and he has a connect. Then I can jump. So before living, I can actually get quite a bit of points on the side. So if he has to connect, then when I go back to live, he's going to have a lot more agi. Any outside shape? It might be a bit try-hard, but I think this is still a good result. It's an interesting shape. Because the next move, when white plays here, white's all connected. It's like it goes back to the monkey jump shape. So I could live in one move here. And the good thing about having the Hane here now is when I live like this, I don't actually... This is actually not a forcing move anymore. So, okay, so that's his Sente. He can get that anytime he wants. But now black really is low on points. Like, where are his points? White is very strong everywhere. Got 3 corners now. Yeah, so I guess the game is looking pretty good. And also, how is he going to deal with this piece? Yeah, it's a good forcing move later. So my guess is that he will probably cap now. These stones are very weak. And yeah, it's actually pretty uncomfortable for white. To respond to the cap, I think probably attaching. Yeah, it's a typical strategy, you know, just taking territory and living a weak group. It's almost getting old now, but it is really hard to attack. So, okay. I think if I cut and Atari and push through, this shape is quite awkward for black. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely have to extend, no questions there. But what comes after? Hmm. So, always getting into these fighting situations. So if yeah, I guess I'll just push and turn. It's actually pretty high pressure for white because not only white has to connect back, white can't let a group get captured. So the outside can't be too strong either. Oh god. So this is Sente, or else I can double Hane here. So you have the Atari. So this is the test. Yeah, I guess I have to capture the 2 stones. There's really no other good option. If I turn, what's he gonna do? Yeah, he will probably play one of these to go out. Yeah, I don't think this works now. It's too aggressive. So I guess I'll just capture this. That's it's not a very good result. So he solidified the left side and also gained some strength. But I guess it's fine because I connected a weak group. So no more weak groups, and I can just play for points without any worry. Yeah. Another Sente move, few Sente moves, and I can run this out. Conveniently, I have a ladder breaker here. Alright. So I'm still leading in terms of points. The goal is still really simple. So after settling the weak group, it's exactly the same. I guess I can't run this out now, but so typical reduction move, the shoulder hit. I actually chose to jump because I wanted to threaten this, but on second thought, maybe it's better to just extend. Because the left side is pretty weak, and when extending, there's a chance to block. Okay. Another annoying move. I just have to capture it, I guess. There's well, that's slightly awkward. Actually, yeah, if I push through, I can actually block this way. Yeah, it's not going to be any good. Not sure why I thought that might be a good idea. Oh well. Oh, that means I should block here instead. Poor decisions. Okay, all yours. I mean, still, the point lead is evident, so as long as I don't get captured here, I should be fine. Okay, yeah. That was pretty expected, the cap. I think if, yeah, he still has a weakness here. Well, so if I push, he can extend. That's a very annoying move. I'll just look for some eye space above. Well, actually, after he exchanges the clamp, I'll be able to push here. Yeah, still gonna look for eye spaces. If I push here, you'll have to extend. It already looks like white's gonna be able to live. If I push, oh that seems a bit too aggressive. Oh, what if he cuts here? Huh. Okay, well, I guess he didn't really consider it, but that seemed pretty dangerous. Okay. Maybe I got away with something. I didn't fully read out the variations there yet, but oh gosh, that could have been really bad. Huh. For real? This move? This does not look like a good move, because when I connect, well, one, it's gonna give me eye space, and when I connect, I'm actually forcing on a lot of things. So, he can connect. Yeah, that's fine. Uh, Yep. So when you can't read anything, you just go with the first feeling move. Yep. Like a boss. I couldn't read whether when I blocked if he could wedge. Now, if he could, they would have been pretty disastrous, I must say. No. Okay. Well, I have to connect anyway. Just gonna connect first. He has to connect as well. And this really doesn't look like it's that hard to live. I might actually have some extra stuff. I do have to make sure everything is still connected. But apart from that, black, because white connected here, black's shape is extremely weak. What is he gonna do if I play this move? Just gonna extend first. Yep, so he goes back. Okay. I really want these 2 points. Okay, I guess that's still a good exchange in terms of points. And also, now if he Atari's here, I could have captured before anyway. But, yeah, I mean, still, this is a pretty successful invasion. Can't deny that. I mean, before he had all pretty much influence. And now after all of these moves, all of this is alive. And on top of that, white has a lot more points than black. So, all in all, it was pretty good. I think the middle stone is very big. Not only do I make the middle group very strong, it's maybe 5 or 6 points, and it's almost a reverse sente as well. Yeah. So now we can do like a rough count. So how much does black have? We can count 3 points there for him for now, because this Kosumi will be sente if white wants to keep the corner territory. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. Okay, so maybe about 55. I'm gonna save these zones first. I kind of want to get at black shapes now, because if he doesn't connect, and he doesn't, okay, so after I cut, how is he gonna fix? Well, wait a minute. So yeah, after white becomes strong, black will have some problems, and that was what I was trying to get at, playing this attachment here. I actually didn't even count how many points white had. So, but after this, I guess the corner we can maybe count 15, maybe 30. Actually, white's not doing too bad in terms of points. So this might not even be needed. Probably isn't. Well, I have to cut now. After the cut, I can no, I can't. that would have been sad. So if he captures and I play here, he can actually throw in an Atari and one bang the group. What's really good about this for white is because all of these are sente moves, because black is missing a connecting move here. So he has to, well, he can exchange the Atari as well, but he still has to come back, and now it's time for the show. So even though white's not alive in top right, I still have to make it alive. It's my turn, so I'm not sure how he's gonna live this. So this is sente move, and the problem with this group is that it really doesn't have too many liberties. So right after I pull back, wait, if I Atari, I can descend. So, okay, I'm gonna spend my last Byoyomi, and I'm gonna read this out. So how is he gonna reduce my liberties on the top right? Yeah, so if I extend, he will connect, and then I have to enclose this, and he has 5 liberties. I don't have enough. But I can actually Atari and Descend, and that will get me connected. So I'm actually saved a move there and made a lot more points. But the issue with this is actually he did take this endgame, so without getting much benefit here, this exchange could be questionable. Okay. Really? I mean, this is alive? White is so strong here. I'm really tempted to just go for the kill now. What? So the meaning of this move is, I guess if I push, he's gonna sacrifice those two. So the only way to cut is to push this way. But after he captures, he can clamp out and re-sacrifice those three stones in there. So I think that was his plan. Now, if I push, he can still connect, and that would be Sente, so he can still run out. But I think that result is still pretty good for White. So it's just really a matter of how to do it so it's the best. I don't want to take too many risks because White is ahead by a fair bit now. Yeah, but I still think, if I connect, he's just dead, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I guess he had to cut and then play the empty triangle. This just has to die. I mean, it just has to die. Yeah. This just has to die. Okay. So he did sacrifice it. I mean, there's just no way to live. Apart from purely capturing the group, I think I can actually push first. Well, I don't need to. I'm not gonna even risk it. I mean, after capturing this, everything is connected. So this is gonna be an easy end game. Yeah, there's just no way White doesn't win this game now. So it was an interesting turnout. I guess I almost tricked him by fixing these three, because of course it was really tempting for Black to make this territory. And I wasn't too sure at that time what the result was going to be like. Alright, so just finish up the end game, and that's gonna be that. So maybe I'll do another count, just in case, you never know. So that was expected, but the monkey jump is actually not the best move here. So if you, for those of you who like the advanced endgame stuff, you can actually just remember that when you can jump, almost all the time, jump is going to be better. So that could be like yeah. So you can just kind of remember that as a rule of thumb. Because jumping is Sente, so even though you can get a bit more, you end up with Gote anyway. Okay, and then yeah, so actually, yeah, maybe I should do the count that I promised. Still need to figure out what I want to do on this side. 52 for everything on the right side for white. So here it's 10, 11, 12, 13. 17 there. So 32 plus 52. So that's just over 70. And black has how many? About 65. So white is ahead by about 10 points. Wait, did I get that right? Yeah. Over 10 points lead on the board. And it's still white's turn, so yeah, maybe 15. Usually I count more conservatively for myself, and I count a little more for the opponent. Yep, and so you should resign probably soon. There's really not much left. After this endgame, which is definitely the biggest at the time, we're pretty much out of endgames. Yeah, so it's really just doing whatever. I'm gonna capture to see where he wants to protect. Oh, I should honey first. Oh, no, I should. No, I should. Yeah. So this is a bit more than 2 points, and I think the rest of the game is about 2 to 2.5. So pretty interesting game here. I actually honestly really miss the times where you can actually play a regular opening. Nowadays, every there's too many AIs and too many people who like to play like AI. So yeah, it's very annoying, I think. It's just so boring. Every game is just two star point and you approach and invade and it's just like 5 or 6 openings that get played over and over again. Oh. Can I sneak in a point somewhere? No, I guess I'll just connect here. And yeah, alright. Yeah, so he wants the, yeah, that's a pretty big move. Yeah, maybe I should have connected. Doesn't matter too much. Oh. uh, yeah, he shouldn't have exchanged this now. Maybe he didn't see that this is all connected. Okay, interesting game. I really miss this kind of games nowadays. I guess what determined the result was really the fight in the middle. So I think there are times where it seems pretty unclear. So especially now, if black cuts, seems really dangerous for both players. I'm not sure what the result's gonna be like. No, so if white cuts like this, I don't think white is gonna have the upper hand in a Liberty fight, but I could be wrong. So it's gonna be really complicated at least, and I think black really should do that because in the game, letting white connect all back is just too easy, right? So if you compare what happened, this is what the game looks like. Oh, I thought oops, I switched off the wrong thing. So yeah, so at this point it's probably close because even though white got some benefits in the corner, black did gain quite a lot of strength in the center here. So this is still going to be a pretty close game. The attachment was a really good move because white relied on this connection in order to live in the corner. So probing this is really good. And right now, this Atari is Sente, so white has to eventually come back and live. Which means that, yeah, right now it's at least a really close game. But after launching the attack like this, not only did white connect this stone back, which made this center weak, white is able to connect out like this. So if you just compare the results, after invading, white got everything back. Also, actually gained some points here. All black gained was this one move here. So definitely, sort of the losing fight here for black. And after, it was sort of just a little bit of endgame tactics. So at this point, white's already ahead. Yeah, so this was like a mini endgame tactic. When I fixed here, black should still connect. So the way black handled the upper right was probably not very good as well. Yeah. So there's actually not really any choice. If black connects, then white can extend here, and black does not have enough liberties to race against the top right. So black had to play this in the game. So in the game, I chose I chose a kind of like a safer variation. So to take the territory back first, and then just basically, I don't have to really get too much from the fight. So yeah, in the game, he was kind of desperate, so he really wanted to get points this way. But if you play the normal move, of course, white's going to be ahead by a fair bit. So, alright. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.